Chetty Bobby. Welcome to Wrasslin with Big E and the POT. Podcast tag champs of the whole world, slamming like a DDT. Got it like just like a figure four. Hulk Hogan, all they do is flex. Talking wrestling while they get the dough. Off the top like a superplex. Think they laying up? Hell no. Dusty Rose with the elbow. From the corner like a stinging splash straight to the face. I know you felt those. Hey, y'all crying out for help though. Rising up like the dead man. About to go upside your head like Stone Cold with the bedpan. Bottom line, if you want the facts, welcome to Wrasslin where you need to be. Chetty Bobby, this show improved like John Cena, you ain't seeing me. Bottom line, if you want the facts, welcome to Wrasslin where you need to be. Chetty Bobby, this show improved like John Cena, you ain't seeing me. See ya!
Hey, welcome to Wrasslin with them Wrasslin boys. I'm the POT alongside my tag team partner Big E, and we're here to bring you another episode of premium wrestling content. What's going on, bro?
Moment of silence for the best looking man on the face of this earth.
Hey, bro. What's going on, brother? Hey, before we get started, ladies and gentlemen, we just want to remind you that we got merch. Got the new logo on the shirt. Got 3 different designs. Go to Pro Wrestling Tees / welcome the number 2 Wrasslin. And support the cause, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Go to ProWrestlingTees.com / welcome to Wrasslin, man. Get your shirt. Buy your shirt, man. Shout out to the shout out to the 4 we done sold already. You know what I'm saying?
My shirt.
We over here big leaguing it now, baby. But what we want you to do, man, if you do buy a shirt, man, send us a picture at the number 2 wrasslin@gmail.com, man. Send us a picture of you wearing the shirt. We're gonna throw you on here, throw your picture on here, man, and show you some love for showing us some love, man. So, hey, welcome to Wrasslin. Hey, bro, it is episode 74. No, this is no. It's 75. This is the 75. Howie Long.
That's a good one.
Yeah, Howie Long. So go ahead and throw it out there.
Mean Joe Green. Mean Joe Green. And
that's a good one.
Yeah, it did.
Can't say it, dog. Episode 75, welcome to Wrasslin. Say it loud, bro. Say it proud.
We got to count to 3.
Go ahead.
1, 2, 3. Merrill Sperling.
Shout out to Merrill Sperling, man. 2 touchdowns. Hey, man, you motherfucker, you. Hey, man, Hey, we got a big episode today, man. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Just had Saturday night's main event. Just had Double or Nothing. We got Clash in Italy in 1 week. So we ain't going to be able to cover everything. We're going to cover almost everything. But before we talk about any of those, let's talk about your boy Ludwig Kaiser. El Grande Americano version 2.0, whatever they call him.
Right.
Caught a battery charge in Orlando. And come to find out, it's actually happened on April the 24th. April the 24th.
That's Big Vay's birthday.
Oh, okay. Shout out to Big Vay and happy birthday last month. But caught a battery charge. For the story that's going around right now is he was, what the victim said, was aggressively kissing his girlfriend in the elevator, and the phrase "a man show some manners" was thrown around, And then per the victim, Ludwig threw him down, beat him down, and also, gave him future threats. So there was a battery warrant put out for him on May the 19th when he was in Mexico. Came back, locked him up. He's out. And he did do an appearance right afterwards. And we'll wait and see when Raw comes on, if they keep him on TV or what's going on. But as an open case like that, if you've seen before, they put them directly off TV or strip them or whatever they got, any kind of push that they got going on, there's some kind of punishment before the guilty or not guilty verdict comes through or charges get dropped or whatever. So the questions we got, there is another story. Of course, he said he's not guilty. Said that the guy provoked him, whatever. There was those questions, and then what are the WWE and TKO gonna do? So I want to hear what you got to say about it.
Well, stuff happens all the time. It's always his word versus their word and all this and that. And unfortunately, today's society, you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. But in today's society, especially if you're a celebrity, you're guilty
Yeah, if you're
until proven innocent.
If you're a celebrity or you're married, you're automatically guilty.
Yeah, you're automatically guilty, which is unfortunate because we know it's not like that, and it's really a shame that it's like that. And even if you found not guilty, you kind of, there's been times where there's been people who get caught up in these situations for whatever reason, and it's like they're spending the rest of their life or their career trying to prove that they're not guilty, even if they was in court of law or whatever. They are, proved not guilty. They still have to, well, for their reputation, to get back that innocence.
Yeah.
So in this situation, we don't know. Obviously, I actually kind of believe Ludwig's story a little more, because I can see how maybe they was aggressively kissing. I can see that, and I can see how a person be annoyed by that, because they were going up the elevator, which is like the 12th floor or something they were saying.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I could see somebody getting out and then, show some effing respect, and people talk sideways to you, and think nothing happened to them, and and maybe that's when Ludwig, he probably snapped and was like, hey, dude, he didn't talk to me that way, and
Right.
jump Buddy off. And then, of course, he's being this wrestler. The guy is like, oh, I'm going to press charges, so I can see how, that could get dicey. Now, as far as, he got the biggest match of his career coming up Saturday.
Yeah.
The Mass versus Mass match with the original Grande Americano, and he's like super over in AAA. He's like he's the man right now.
Yeah.
And man, to your point, if they was to go that route where they say, hey, they're gonna punish him because you're guilty until proven innocent, so does that mean he's going to lose the Mass versus Mass? They're gonna have the match,
right?
Because they done built it up this much, and I don't think they're just not gonna have this match. But to your point earlier, talking about, is there gonna be punishment involved that may change the outcome of this match potentially? So that's where I'm at. As far as the assault charges, it's gonna be water on the bridge one day. I really don't give a rat's ass what happened. Uh, it's unfortunate for all parties involved. What if it's the guy is telling the truth that he got roughed, or that is messed up, if that is what happened? But also, on Ludwig's side, that could be a money grab or anything. So,
Well,
but
especially if it goes somewhere, then you got to get lawyers. You got to take. They're gonna get time off the road for being there. You know what I'm saying? Being in
right,
court, doing this, doing that. So didn't mean to cut you off, but as we know on Welcome to Wrestling, it felt great doing it. Um, this is where I'm at with it, and it's quite a few different views as far as if you're living somewhere and the word probably more than likely the word done went around. Yeah, he wrestles for the WWE. He's on TV. More than likely the guy knowing. When the warrant comes out 30 days later, to almost 30 days later, May 19th, May 19th. That's Evan's birthday, Evan Jr. Shout out to Evan
go
Jr.
ahead, go ahead. Yep.
Yeah, man. Big old 16. But but it could have been embarrassed because he got his ass whooped. You know what I mean? And could have been getting hyped up about I'm going to press charges. Ludwig could have just went crazy and just jumped on Buddy because he got mad.
Yeah.
We just had a big story after WrestleMania as far as people. You saw CM Punk slap the phone out one of the fans' hands and really going above and beyond at the all the boys and the girls hotel and stuff like that. So you just heard about that, and there's no telling what Buddy said. But it is a kind of respect thing in the elevator. That is an uncomfortable situation with somebody
Right.
if they just sitting there just going at it. You know what I'm saying? And you're just like,
get a room, right?
Yeah, and but I don't see why that should have became an altercation. But like you don't know what was really said. You don't know what he said, and they say there's security footage, so we'll see what happens when that comes out.
Yeah, there's security footage, but the security footage don't always get dialogue.
Right. Yeah, but so that's why I said we'll see when that comes out.
Right.
We don't know if it's gonna have it or not. But hey, and I got all these dates right too. So shout out to me for getting all the dates right. So you can't sit there and talk shit for the rest of the. But it also helped to write them down too. But yeah, man. So, but seriously, we'll see what happens. Definitely when the footage comes out. We'll see where it goes. But right now, he looks to be in a little bit of hot water. He is out on bail, and you have to ask the permission to travel and all that stuff. So we'll see.
And he's going out of the country too, so it's not like he's,
Yeah.
So,
and when he found out he was in Mexico and had to come back, like the next day,
right?
To turn himself in or whatever. So I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. Hey, man, big time return caught everybody off guard on Raw. Brock Lesnar came in. How many F5s was it? 4?
Yeah.
Yeah. On Obafemi. Had blew out his blue jeans in the back. Yeah. But yeah, man, the Clash of Italy, I really think so I think we're gonna, make it to SummerSlam after all. After seeing that. So but it's almost like get him in there and kind of get your confidence back, and like that Apollo Creed, he is a man. He's just a man. Be more man than him. Like everybody thought Brock Lesnar was the beast, and now he found the beast, and he's finding out just like people found out against him to be him. He's just a man. So maybe we do get, and we'll talk about Clash in Italy in a little bit, but I thought it was, especially the way they did it when with the lights and everything, and it was perfect time, and it looked great on TV.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's definitely shocking. You didn't hear nothing, no rumors. Like they kept that in the bag,
Mm.
and there's even you hear people talking about it like we are, and there's even speculation of people wondering well, did he really retire?
Right.
And then they just kind of like, you know, did they throw him a bigger bag, or was it like, hey man, because my understanding when he retired, there was one story that he wasn't supposed to do that.
Right.
And so could that have still been in play and they finally worked it out? But man, you need to finish this out. And
Yeah.
so it makes you wonder, or could have been at work the whole time. It sure looked real to me, damn it. Uh I mean, just how he was crying, just how they reacted, but
It's still
then
real to me,
again, it
damn
is
it.
wrestling.
I mean,
Uh so I mean, I think the question to me is how is this going to benefit Obafemi? I know in
Mm.
the big picture, it will, because no matter what happens going forward, you would think that Obafemi is going to have that. What if it's a best out of three rubber match at SummerSlam or whatever? Oba's going to go over, but the
Yeah.
question is, what's going to happen this particular match?
Right. Right. Hey, well, let's talk about Saturday night's main event a little bit, and before we get into two other topics, um, I think the Braun Breaker bump was the best thing of the night with Dawkins when
Yeah.
The Street Profits lost to the Vision. I thought it was a slick match. I just thought the bump was crazy. It really Dawkins came in there and it looked like two football players just going at it. You know what I mean? But he really caught him with that momentum and sent him over that table. Logan Paul is injured. Said it was a leg injury. So I don't know how that works out for them. I don't know if it's something serious. So we'll have to see about all that. What'd you think about the matches in general? The Ruka also got injured, and she's supposed to fight Becky, a Clash of Italy.
Mm.
You
Well,
know, and they're not saying what she hurt, and sometimes that's worse when they don't say.
yeah, well, they definitely. I mean, well, Raw's gonna be interesting as far as that situation because they announced that match
Mm-hmm.
during Saturday night's main event.
Right.
So, and that match is earlier on in the card. So now I get that they diagnose injuries, and you may find out that it's a little more serious than they thought later, but I'm sure she got checked out immediately, and they probably, I don't think they would have announced the match if they would have felt like. But then again, who knows, right? Like you
Right.
said, like Raw, we'll find out about Raw tomorrow night. As far as just the card itself, though, um,
A little
I
lackluster.
yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of predictable. Jay got the got the pinfall over Rhea, which
Right.
I thought that match wasn't bad as far as
It
the
wasn't bad.
chemistry. I like how Charlotte and Rhea finally seemed like they finally buried the hatchet, and
Right.
then them celebrating
That just
is
means the
what
heel turn coming. Yeah.
Yeah, well, plus them celebrating still would cost them the match, right?
Right.
And then of course Jay got the pinfall over Rhea, which set up their match at Clash in Italy.
Mhm.
I was very disappointed with the Sol Ruka Becky though because it was very short
Mhm.
and they botched the finish. I understood what they was doing,
What they was
but
trying to do.
what they were trying to do, but Soul slipped on the Soul Snatchers. She slipped on the rope, so she really didn't get the full extension. It was just weird, like how all that ended, you know.
That's not a
So
finisher. That's a hard to have a finisher like that. You know what
I
I'm saying?
know.
Because she doesn't hit it all the time. When she hits it, it's fire. You know what I'm saying? There just needs to be something in your arsenal that you can pull off because you're not going to be able to hit that. She doesn't hit it every time.
But to be honest with you, she haven't really been botching that until she got to the main roster, though.
Right. So it could be nerves,
Yeah,
you
it
know.
could be nerves, and also you would
But
think
your opponent's really got to be, on point too, though.
your opponent had to be on point. That's why having a spot where you push the referee and I mean that just kind of I, I don't know it just that whole thing was just weird, even
Yeah.
just for them to have such a short match. They could have did that on Raw. I don't know why they wasted that on Saturday night's main event for them just to announce them having that. Because out of all these storylines on both Raw and SmackDown, they're only doing about 5 matches on these PLEs.
Right.
So you doing matches on the week before on Saturday night's main event, which is I mean, it's not a premium live event, but it's pretty much a premium live event. You can't just watch it on anywhere. You got to watch it on Peacock. It's not even on NBC now. It's just on Peacock. You got to
Right.
stream it.
You think
So
you think they already knew she was kind of banged up and to save her for Clash of Italy? This is
I
what they came
mean
with. It could have been,
that
or could have happened right before the match, and okay, this is what we're going to do,
that's
or could have happened
that's
during the match.
very.
Let's
I mean
save it.
that's very possible.
Yeah,
That's very possible.
and that could have been why what they tried to do at the end is probably just got word about it. Do this.
That's possible. But
Yeah.
my only thing with that is that the show ran a little longer than was supposed to.
Uh-huh.
So one of them matches, because I feel like, especially after that, I feel like that match was just kind of like put in. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
it's like it didn't fit. That's why I said it seemed like they could have did it on a Raw, but you could be right as far as because it purposely they only went 2 minutes on purpose, right?
Right.
But even then, I don't know. Just kind of, I just felt like, damn, they could have did it on Raw, and then I don't know. It just felt weird. It just really felt weird. And now what you saying that she is injured, and we don't know what kind of injury she has. Raw's gonna be very interesting with that particular situation.
Right. Right.
You know,
Like I
but
say, and it could have been something small that they just needed to chill for the next couple of days so she can be ready. And that's why, well, let's go out here and do this. Or she could have did it during the match. You know what I'm saying? She does a lot of crazy stuff, man. Like, all the
yeah,
acrobatics. I know she's a gymnast, but it's just like boxing. One mistake and you're through. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? In boxing, if you drop that hand at the wrong point, drop your hand at one point at the wrong time at any part of that match, you can be done for. Whole career be over with.
even
You know?
Roy Jones was forced to lean back.
Yeah. Right. But and we'll figure it out. But And you say, like you say, Raw will be very interesting. So we'll see about that. What else about Saturday Night Main Event? Penta beat Ethan Page. Knew that was going to happen. We said the same thing last week, man. Just felt like it just didn't have a main event. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You didn't see Hogan and Savage tagging, or you know what I'm saying, nothing cool like that. You know what I mean? And I understand they got big show coming up, but you know, you gotta do something. But the card was lackluster. Very few of the matches looked like they belonged on anything special. They looked like a Raw SmackDown match at the end of the day.
Right.
You know, and it is what it is. It ain't no hating or nothing. Just giving a real live opinion. It was not all that, you know. But again, they got a match. They got big card coming up in a couple of days. You want to keep them guys safe, and you want to be able to do Raw and, you know, make it all the way to the PLE, and then, you know what I'm saying, you know, do your thing there. So we'll see, man. And let's talk Kofi Kingston with Kofi and Austin Creed for a minute. They did their first little appearance at GalaxyCon this weekend, and going by Kofi and Austin Creed, and they looked like they were having a good time out there interacting with fans. They took a picture with this one kid that had a Kenny Omega shirt, and they took a picture with him. Austin Creed said when he see Kenny, it's on site. You know, cut a big promo on him. So, do we see Kofi and Austin Creed in AEW?
Yeah, I really think they're gonna be all elite just as soon as their clause is up. You know, they gotta have like a 90-day or something like that.
Whatever restrictions is on there is there. You know, you get released, but they didn't get released. They just didn't, you know, sign a new contract or whatever. Well, I guess they had to be released from their old contract because they wanted them to renegotiate. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, if you want to be super duper technical about it, I guess.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it'd be awesome to see them pull up over there at AEW and see what happens. Speaking of AEW, Double or Nothing was tonight, and man, we just talk about a few of those matches and a couple of things that happened, and then we'll move on and talk about Clash of Italy. Your boy Mick Foley showed up.
Yeah.
Cut a promo with Darby Allin. Win one for the weirdos. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was on their little pre-show thing.
Yeah. What do you think about seeing Mick Foley on there?
Well, you know, it's been rumored, you know, for months that he was going, you know, because I know we don't talk politics, but he has an issue with WWE and the direct, you know, their choice in politics. Not saying that they all, obviously, not all of them is that route, but
yeah,
I guess the head honchos has a particular party that they favor. So Mick Foley let it be known that he has a problem with that. And I'm assuming his Legends deal was up, and he just like he don't want to have nothing to do with them right now, which that's his prerogative. And you know, Tony Khan, I can't blame him. He's gonna snatch him up. Right. So I mean, it was cool. It was cool just to see Mick Foley again. You know, you know, I mean, he's definitely a legend, obviously, hardcore legend.
Yeah.
Hall of Famer, you know, and I respect his wrestling expertise and his opinion on things. So it was cool to him and Renee hear them talk about the event and him just giving his opinions on things. So I mean, I was cool with that.
Yeah, I tell you what would have really been cool if he would have came in just a little bit earlier and had a little interaction with Sting and not to have no match. But bro, the battles they had in WCW were just, you know, they used to go at it.
Right.
You know, I don't know how many times that elbow off the apron been dropped on Sting on the floor.
Man.
Yeah, he elbowed me 1,000 times. You know what I'm saying?
That's why he got a metal hip now.
But yeah, man. Adam Copeland and Christian Cage are the tag team champions at AEW. They beat FTR in the I Quit match. Beth Phoenix was out there crying. You know, it's just cool to see that. It's been what, 20-something years since they've been tag team champions.
Yeah, it was something
and
like that. Yeah, it was.
The injuries, the everything they've been through. You know what I'm saying? To still be kind of walking tall and ending this thing out together is cool, and as best friends that they are, man, that's got to be a cool thing if you think about it.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So, man, shout out to them, man. Shout out to FTR though, always putting on the show. That's why it's good for Kofi and if they do go over there, man. That tag team division is on point in AEW. You know, they got a lot of tag teams. They do a lot of stuff, man. I definitely am very intrigued to see if they pull that trigger, if they do go over there. And we're gonna see some good stuff. You know. Takashita. You know, when you look at his name, you know what you want to say, take a shitter. But it's Takashita.
Or whatever.
Yeah. He beat Okada and is the international champion. Kyle Fletcher returned and helped fight off the Don Callis family with Takashita and then laid Takashita out. So Kyle Fletcher coming back for injury. John Moxley beat Kyle O'Reilly and for the Continental Championship. You know, Mox is the Continental Champion, so he beat Kyle O'Reilly. Swerve beat Bandito in the Owen Hart tribute thing they do every year.
Right, yeah, that tournament.
Yeah. The finish was crazy on that. You know, Bandito does that thing where he presses the guy with one arm and stuff.
Right.
That's gonna always get over. That move there. But he threw Swerve up and Swerve stood on his shoulders and was like there for like 2-3 seconds just standing straight up. Then Swerve kicked and came down and did the finisher and got the 1-2-3. So he moves on. I know oh bro, you had Team Jericho won the Stadium Stampede.
Stadium Stampede.
Yeah.
Against Team Ricochet.
Right. And so they finally will be able to do something. You know, they'll free Jericho up to start feuding with somebody.
Right.
You know, involved in that stuff on the comeback with the Hurt Syndicate and the Elite. So Will Ospreay defeated Samoa Joe. And what a treat that was. This card was crazy. And I know it's double or nothing, but we ain't even talking about all the matches.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But, you know, if you got the time, and of course, like AEW, they don't have no network or nothing right now. Even if you do have HBO match, you still got to pay the $40 or whatever. You know, so they still, wrestling fans still trying to break us. You know, but
right.
I just don't see how, you know, everybody is still upset about the wrestling that they do over there. And I don't see how the fan base ain't bigger.
I don't get it. I don't know if they listen to too many of these veteran podcasts and that they're getting the whole negative outlook, you know, from we ain't gonna say no names. We know who they are. So I don't know, man. You know, I appreciate the fact that it's not everybody's cup of tea. However, I like that they're different, though. I don't want to watch two companies that's exactly the same. What's the point in that? So I do like the fact that they do things different but they do have star power, but they also build new stars.
Mhm.
Like I like Kyle Fletcher,
Right.
Takeshita, Bandito, like Swerve Strickland. Like, I mean, the
Dude,
list
he's
goes on and on, man. Like I like watching these guys. Sammy Guevara,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, Sammy's amazing, dog.
Yeah, I like his match with Darby Allin a couple weeks ago for the world title.
Yeah.
I guess with the Darby World Title Challenge. You know what I mean? you know, uh,
And
I,
speaking of that, those challenges are over because MJF became the third time AEW champion tonight. So Darby Allin's world champion reign is over with.
I feel like he was a good champion for the short reign that he had. You kind of figure it wasn't gonna last too much longer. I mean, because
No,
he putting the title up twice a week. Excuse me.
right.
Like he literally it's almost like the US Open challenge in WWE, but he the world champion.
The title got to
So
be. The title has to be uh 60 to 90 days before you know what I'm saying? It's got to be a build up. It can't be every week, not for the world title because anything can happen. And I can see if you were doing that for a storyline, but you can't treat the world title like that.
no,
It's got to be as prestigious comes. You can't treat the world title like that. It's got to mean
right,
something. The world title has to mean something. You can't sit there and defend it every week. You know what I'm saying?
right.
That's just like it's killing it. You do the US title, the Intercontinental title, all those, the TNT title, all them, all those secondary titles that mean a lot, but it's not the world title. It's not your moneymaker. It's not your top guy yet. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I still because it's to your point. No, I agree with you. We shouldn't get that every week. However, with it being Darby Allin, I kind of appreciated that it was him that did that.
No.
But
It
again,
couldn't last that long.
that's why I didn't expect to have a long reign with Darby Allin doing
Right.
that. Because to your point, no, I don't think it should be. It should mean more. Yeah, it's cool that different people get world title shots, but it's like, it's you're the world champion.
Right.
Not to compare wrestling to boxing, but like there's a reason why them boxers, when they get to that status, they're defending the title once or twice a year.
Right. Right.
You
Because you
know,
got to be in the very best shape of your life. Your camp has to be amazing. And because it's your whole livelihood on the line.
right?
You know what I'm saying? But as far as the world title, especially on TV, like realistically, if you get a world title match on TV, it should be a treat because it's not going to happen very often. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
You're going to see the title all the time, but you're not going to see it defended.
right,
Not
right.
on no TV, and it shouldn't be. As far as business wise, you know what I'm saying? That's what you're getting the people to pay for to watch and see.
Right.
That title getting defended. So like you said, it couldn't have lasted too long.
Right.
So and then if it did last too long, he'd run through everybody, Then who's getting then you run. So
I
yeah,
guess
man.
he didn't win it for the weirdos, man.
Right. And thank God MJF didn't have to shave his head.
Yeah.
His hair was on the line.
Right.
Let's talk about Clash of Italy. And we ain't got to go in no particular order, but it's 5 matches on the card so far. It being Clash of Italy, the only PLE/ pay-per-view ever in Italy. So they could add one more or something. So we don't know. We'll see. But like I say, this is the 5 is the format. But you do have 2 bangers at the end, along with Brock and Obafemi, which I think Brock is going to go over and we're gonna make it to SummerSlam. You know what I'm saying? So, matter of fact, let's go ahead and talk about Brock and Obafemi real quick. And I just told you, but I think Brock's gonna go over. Gonna have a different kind of plan for him, and he just gonna hurt him, you know. And it's gonna, for one, Obafemi's gonna it's gonna turn him into a mean monster. You know what I'm saying? Because it's almost like when you meet your match, it's either you're gonna lay down and die, you know what I'm saying, or you're gonna find that second gear. You know what I'm saying, and be what people don't want to see. As far as, you know, and you don't want none of him, especially when he this and this. So I think it's gonna pull both of them. The match is gonna mean so much for SummerSlam, you know, and especially with Brock winning and going over. That's what I think.
I agree. I think Brock's going to win. Now, how we're going to get there, now that I don't know, because I still don't see Brock dominating over the way Over dominated Brock. Now, however, I do think that somehow, some way, Brock has to win.
Yeah.
Because what's the whole point of him coming back?
Just
to do what? Yeah, just to get beat again. Or not now, right?
Right.
You know, even if, which I think the Gunther ship sailed, but even if we were somehow to get to that, then he can't lose here.
Right.
So it's almost he has to win, right?
Right. But then they're gonna be 1-on-1. 1-and-1. They both got one win. So what is it? Are you getting a tiebreaker, or does he do something else at SummerSlam? Like I say, it's got to be Obafemi at SummerSlam now, right?
It has to be. I think that's the only way to go, because he can't be Over, then they move on, because then that did nothing for Over.
Right. You hurt him. You know that don't help him at all.
Yeah. If they gonna do that, why you should just let Brock retire for real. So. Yeah, I agree with you. They're gonna have to have somehow Brock's gonna win, and then they're gonna have a rubber match at SummerSlam. That's seems like that's the only way that they can make this right.
Right. Yeah, no doubt. So that's what I'm thinking. I mean, that's what makes sense. So we'll just have to see. But hell. But you got the Rhea and Jade rematch from WrestleMania, and you got Becky and Sol Ruka. Sol Ruka, like I say, Sol Ruka's banged up. We won't know nothing till Raw, and so we'll just talk about what happens. If that match happens, we'll talk about it next week. If it doesn't, we'll talk about whatever took its place. So, but Rhea and Jade, I don't think Rhea gives the belt up that quick. You know, I think she got a ways to go, and I don't know why you don't build her as the greatest to ever do it, ever. You know what I'm saying? Because she in her prime right now. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And she's so over. Let her run away with it. You know what I'm saying? Give us, you can give us Charlotte and Jade later on, and let her run through the roster. You know what I'm saying? Until you get Charlotte or Jade back into the picture. But whatever they do, she's not losing. She's not losing next week. Not that
I agree. Quick. I agree. Now, first of all, I'm glad to see that Charlotte is back in the picture, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they've been doing a tag team thing, and they still a team, her and Alexa Bliss. But I think what's going to happen, I think Rhea's going to win again. I agree, but I think they're going towards a triple threat in this situation. I really feel like somehow, some way, they're going to do a triple threat. in the
Yeah.
near future. So I don't know if that means Charlotte is going to interfere and help Rhea, and Rhea is going to be like, I didn't need your help. Or they can be like Charlotte, try to help her and cost her. That's the only way I feel like if Jade wins, which I don't think that's going to happen. But if Jade wins, I think it's going to be because of shenanigans. But I don't think it's not going to be from Michin and B-Fab, which I'm sure they may get involved. But I think it's going to be where Charlotte may try to help Rhea and it backfire.
Yeah. Shout out to
It
Meechin and B Fab one time.
right, but
Hey.
but I agree with you though. I think on this one, I think Rhea's going to win, but I still think that somehow, some way, Charlotte may
She does something.
interfere. Yeah, she gonna do something, but I don't think it's gonna be ill intentions towards Rhea. It's gonna be something's gonna backfire. Either she helped Rhea win, and Rhea gonna be like, I don't need your help, or if Rhea was to lose, it's gonna be because Charlotte may try to help Rhea, and it's gonna backfire that way.
When B Fab and them run down, and then Charlotte runs down, and she tries to hit one of them, they duck. She hits Rhea on accident.
Right.
And then next thing you know, at SummerSlam, you might have Jade as a champ, but it's a triple threat.
Possible.
Yeah. But we'll see. We shall see. But I definitely believe that it should be involved in somehow, some way. Even if this will help out, make a save, or you know, it could be where they, hey, I want a shot at that. We're cool and everything, but I want a shot at the title. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, because they definitely had unfinished business.
Right.
Clearly.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so.
So, all right, I want to ask you this. You got 2 matches left. Okay.
Right.
Take the titles out the equation. If there's no titles on the mat, on the card right here, okay? Which one of these is the main event? Roman and Jacob or Cody and Gunther?
Roman Jacob.
Right, but that's the world title, so that's not going to be the main event. But it seems like it should be.
Well, also they've been doing this thing with ESPN, so they, they kind of been, they've been putting heavy hitters at the beginning, to build that up, to try to get people to buy in for later. So,
yeah. So the first 2 matches are free. So you mean you're gonna get Jacob and Roman for free?
That's what I'm hearing. That's what they're saying. They're probably gonna start the show.
Who's going over?
You know what, man? We're gonna have to include the titles back in the picture, and I'm gonna go with Jacob because it's almost they kind of booked themselves into a corner by having tribal combat this early.
Because that should be right down his alley, right?
Right. Yeah, right. But and the reason why I say this early, okay, it's their second match. I mean, I know they've been feuding since the Raw after WrestleMania, but it's
they've been feuding since Pensacola.
Right. But back when they was, when
they was
right. But to your point though, they by them doing the tribal combat, that's supposed to be like the end all.
Just like the Hell in Cell.
It's like it's exactly. So I just feel like, what does it do for Jacob if he was to lose? It's almost like he has to win.
Because if he doesn't, okay, Gave you a one-on-one match, gave you the main event, gave you tribal combat, which you asked for. You still couldn't do it. Go on and acknowledge him.
Yeah, so then he gonna fade, be in the background again. I mean, he's so over right now, and since he came back from the mouth surgery or whatever he had going on, he had the thing with Cody, Drew McIntyre,
And now
now Roman. I mean, though Drew McIntyre world champion, Cody is Cody.
Right.
Roman is Roman. Like these are the top guys, which he deserves that,
Right. Hell yeah.
But if he don't at least get this victory, where do they go from there? Where do they go with Roman? I mean, they can feud with anybody, but it's like, where do they go with this story? I just feel like he has to win. And then they had that blow off match at SummerSlam. I mean, okay, where you go from tribal combat? Do they do Hell in a Cell or something? I mean, we don't know.
Right.
But I just feel like he have to win, right? I mean, I know that's our fandom.
Like, it's not fandom. It's got to make sense.
Right.
It's got to make sense. And it's like, you're not finna push him this far just to drop him back off.
Right.
Ain't like he not delivering.
Right.
He delivering and on time too. Ain't no 30 minutes or less. He there. You ain't getting nothing for free.
Right.
He delivering he delivering with the promos, with the beat downs, he doing everything. He's checking all the boxes right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he has to win. And if he don't, it's got to be something crazy. If the Usos interfere, if Solo interferes, if whoever, whatever.
Yeah, it definitely gotta be. He can't lose. I mean, I know it's tribal combat, but he can't lose where it's like Roman was just the better man.
Right. But then it's like whoever interferes, then he gonna have to go after them because he the one cost him all this and that. So then
which I would accept that more. I mean, I would be disappointed, but I would accept that more because then it's like that don't make him look weak.
Right.
As far as, and I'm not saying losing Roman Reigns don't make anybody look weak, but as far as with the story they're telling,
right.
Again, where do we go if he was to lose and he had to acknowledge Roman Reigns? Where do we go from there? With the Jacob Fatu story.
Right. Shit. Like I say, he's got to win right now. He's got to win. Even if it's a short reign, he's got to win.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
And how about being there for 2 years and winning the title?
That would be awesome.
Look how long Roman was there before they gave him the title. Look how long Jey Uso was there. Look how long it took the Usos to win the tag team titles.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He like bypassing everybody. He's the tribal chief. But hey man, Cody and Gunther. I'm right with you. He's got to win, man. Jacob Fatu all the way going over. So we'll see. Cody and Gunther, main event.
I'm almost embarrassed to say this, but I was looking at one of my YouTubers, and I don't even remember the guy. I watch him damn near every day, and I don't even remember his name, man. One of the guys I follow, so I feel bad that I can't shout him out and give him his props. But he made a very
welcome to wrestling.
But he made a very interesting point about this match and the outcome, and he had two different outcomes, and it made sense. He had a Randy Orton outcome, and he had a non-Randy Orton outcome.
Ooh, okay. Let's hear it.
So,
what'd he say?
Right? So the Randy Orton outcome, he's saying it wouldn't make sense for Randy for the stuff he did at WrestleMania after the match and made it clear that, okay, I still want this belt, this title. I'm
Yeah,
coming for number 15. But he was like, now Randy can get the 15 versus anybody, but he was like, the way that the stuff that happened after the match, it has to be Cody.
yeah,
So he was like, so if Randy is not as, because we don't know his injury status, right?
right,
So if Randy just buying time for SummerSlam, then Cody had to win. Because if Cody was to lose, it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense for Randy to go after Gunther. I
right.
mean, he could get the 15 versus anybody. I'm not saying he can't do it, but of course Gunther being heel, Randy being heel. But it was like it just wouldn't make storyline. It wouldn't really make sense. Now, but
But we
if
but we have seen where people have not got their rematch. It's not, we have seen that.
we
Yeah,
have, but why do the whole thing after the match though?
right.
I mean, and I'm saying they'll do stuff that don't make sense, or we know that they'll plant seeds and won't follow up on stuff too. We know that this WWE, we know that they will do that. They
Right.
will,
Right.
but I'm trying to make it make sense, and that was his angle with that, like this gentleman. Now, but if Randy is really injured, where he's
Mhm.
like, okay, he ain't just taking some time off, like he might be past SummerSlam when he come back, then he's thinking that why not give it to Gunther? Why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah.
So I felt him on that, but that's the beauty of it. We don't know Randy Orton's status.
Right.
And that's
Yeah.
not saying that Randy's going to interfere in the match or nothing. He's just saying still he don't have to be involved. It's
Yeah.
just as far as booking long term,
Right.
you know, what's going to happen. So that being said, I'm gonna go with Cody because I believe that Randy Orton is going to come into play at least by SummerSlam, and I just feel like what my man was saying, like if he's going to come back, he's going after Cody to continue that story. And but if not, then why not? I mean, could Gunther, he haven't took no L's in a while.
Right. Right. So he's about due for one,
That's true.
But also, if you're gonna give him all these wins, then it also makes Cody look almost like he can beat anybody with the heart that he has and the passion that he has. The Gunther's beat guys way bigger and taller and badder than Cody, but Cody can still pull it off somehow, some way.
Right.
You
He
know?
Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, right. For real. So, either way, but then again, you had Gunther. Gunther ain't lost since he tapped out to Jay Uso, has he?
Right. Well, no, he
Not,
CM
not one.
CM Punk. CM
Yeah,
Punk beat him.
yeah. So you've lost one time this whole year. So, or shit, longer than that. But
Right.
I don't know. I really don't know how to call this one, to be honest with you, because, like you say, you don't know what the Randy Orton thing is, and you can sit there and be waiting on him and shit. He can be hurt, and then you don't see nothing. So we don't know what's gonna happen. You want to say Cody, but it's almost like it's Gunther, so it's hard to bet
Right.
against Gunther. You know what I mean? That's like, that's like. You don't want to bet. It's hard to bet against him.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. We've been agreeing on everything else, man. I'm gonna go with Gunther. Just to say it's Gunther. Yeah, you can, and of course it can be, when Cody get the rematch, it'll be all about the chase again, and I've got to do this and I got to do that because I got to be the
Right.
world champion.
Right.
So, and eventually that stuff's going to get old because it's just your modern day, say your prayers and eat your vitamins, and you know what I'm saying? And Hulkamania rules, brother.
Doesn't work for me, brother.
Oh man. But yeah, man, that's Clash in Italy, man. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna pick Gunther to go over, and would that be crazy for the title to both titles change in one night?
Yeah, I know.
There's never been, they've never had one in Italy. The crowd's gonna be crazy.
And when was the last time, besides WrestleMania or SummerSlam, when was the last time that both world titles was on the line at a PLE event? I mean, I'm asking the question because I really don't know, but I'm really thinking about it. They don't do that often.
Yeah, no, not often.
Yeah.
They might do like Crown Jewel or something and go crazy, but it's gotta be something special.
Right.
And because it's supposed to be, either or.
Right.
But like I say, it's the first time they're ever going there. They finna go out there and show out.
Right.
I
can't wait, man, because them European crowds.
Yeah. If Jacob and Roman started off and then Gunther and Cody finish it, it's gonna be hell of a start to finish is gonna be crazy.
I mean, because you notice that they don't really do back to back. Like they don't, no matter how big the card is or how small the card is, they don't normally do the world title matches back to back. Even if they'll do like a match in between, like
right, because you'll take the crowd by the next one. Yeah,
right. So I can see them doing that. Having Roman and because I know they're not gonna do Brock and Oba again the first like they did WrestleMania. They gonna switch that up.
What do you do what do the Usos do when Jacob wins?
I think they're gonna fall in line. Who knows, right? But maybe that could be the twist, or maybe what if the Usos turn on Roman?
What if, like we talked about, you got Rikishi and the Tongan Kid up there, Haku. You know what I'm saying? And then you got the Usos, their dad, Jacob, his dad. And then you got Tala Tonga and Tama Tonga's dad, Haku. What if they leave Roman and Solo out by themselves, and that's the whole crew right there?
Man.
And Solo the only one that's bucking. And Roman out by himself, and they join forces. And then they bring all the youngins in. That would be stupid.
Yeah, you've been that's some shit that you see on WWE 2K. You know?
Yeah, that's a mean one right there. I told you I'm gonna be out there with Jacob, boy, Bubba Fatu, boy.
They're like Dink Ops.
Right. Hey man, I'm excited about the card. I'm especially excited about them two matches. I really want to see what's going on with Brock and Oberfemi. That'll be good. Let's see how that turns. So we'll be here next week to talk everything about it. Don't forget, go to ProWrestlingTees.com/welcome to Wrasslin. Welcome the #2 Wrasslin and get you some merch. Got 3 different t-shirt designs. Go on and support the cause, like, comment, subscribe, do all that. And we appreciate you and love y'all. And yeah, bro, it's been a good one, man. We had a lot to talk about tonight.
Yeah,
So
before we go, man, shout out Max Klopfelter. You was the first one.
oh yeah, man, straight up and down,
Yeah,
man.
and we appreciate your support, brother. Like we
Good
really
looking
do.
out, for real.
We know you're not the only one, but we really appreciate you, man. And we want
Yeah,
you to know that from the bottom of our heart. Matt Klopfelder, shout out to you, man. We appreciate your support, brother. Keep it up.
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, man. But yeah, man. Welcome to Hey, let me tell you one thing about the AEW show, bro. They had Samoa Joe and Will Ospreay. First time they ever fought.
Damn.
That whole card was crazy. Yeah, but yeah, man. Shout out to AEW. We love WWE, man, but I love it all. You know what I'm saying? Get mad if you want, man. I like every aspect. We like to watch indie stuff. I like to watch the crazy stuff, the boring stuff. We'll watch it all. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, shout out to AEW. What a card they had. And I know it's one of their big top shows, but they got a lot of talent over there. You know, and they deserve a little bit more love than they're getting. You know, you got some Stone Cold, real good veterans over there. You got a lot of up and coming guys over there. You got guys like Jericho, you know, that keep reinventing themselves and keep going strong in their storylines and can still go in the ring. You know, you got a lot of good guys over there, man. They deserve a lot more love than they're getting. You know, but yeah, wrestling fans, man, that's what you're dealing with. Hey, bros, welcome to Wrestling, man. We'll talk next week.
Welcome to Wrasslin.
Welcome to Wrestling.
Welcome to Wrasslin, Chetty Bobby. Welcome to Wrasslin with Big E and the POT. Podcast tag champs of the whole world. Slamming like a DDT. Got it like just like a figure four. Hulk Hogan, all they do is flex. Talking wrestling while they get the dough. Off the top like a superplex. Think they letting up? Hell no. Dusty Rose with the elbow. From the corner like a stinging splash. Straight to the face. I know you felt those. Hey, y'all crying out for help though. Rising up like the dead man. About to go upside your head like Stone Cold with the bedpan. Bottom line, if you want the facts, welcome to Wrestling where you need to be. Chetty Bobby, this show improved like John Cena, you ain't seeing me. Bottom line, if you want the facts, welcome to Wrestling where you need to be. Chetty Bobby, this show improved like John Cena, you ain't seeing me.